So that because some of you have, especially sixth semester said they have placement training, so we are recording the session. So once again, welcome all of you to BMSCE Hackathon, Beat the Pandemic. So with us, we have Principal Dr. B.V. Ravishankar and our Vice Principal Dr. Muralidhara and also Dean Academic Dr. Samita Maitra. And also HOD Biotechnology is expected to join us because he's the nodal coordinator for any COVID-19 related activities in BMS College of Engineering. So having said this, first and first, before I hand over the mic to our principal, I want to wish all of you a very happy World Environment Day. So I guess somehow it was a coincidence that we are doing this hackathon today. We want to wish you from R&D Center World Environment Day. So with this, I would like to request our beloved principal, Dr. B.V. Ravishankar, to give the opening remarks.
Yeah. Thank you, Abhishek. I also join you in wishing everyone, all the participants, a very good and World Environment Day today. Let's keep our environment always protected. I think this is an apt topic to be discussed today. Beat the pandemic. COVID. In fact, the COVID has posed us so many challenges. Now it is the time to explore, expand, and excel. I really compliment Abhishek and our Dean Academic and other team members who have come out with this particular topic for today's, hackathon. So I also welcome each and every participants for this hackathon. Hope the deliberations that going to happen is going to give us a new approach in order to beat this pandemic. Because can we avoid? I don't think so. Now situation is so demanding that we cannot avoid. But what is the next option? The next option is to live with it. Then if so, how to live with it? I think we need to have a very well planned because the experts are saying that it will continue for a few more years, not months. Such being the case and situation, I think we should practice ourselves to live with it. And if you want to live with it, I think we need to beat this particular pandemic COVID-19. Hope the hackathon that's been planned is going to throw so many directions how to actually adopt yourself, because we are all professionals. So anywhere, any nook and corner of the world, the first thing is that you need to adapt to the situation. As the situation demands, I think we need to change ourselves, because and it's also said change is ever, and it's a permanent, so and it is constant. Therefore I think we need to change ourselves and practice ourselves and try to beat this particular pandemic, which is really posing us so many challenges. And also, my friends, so many new things have come up. Now, this crisis have given rise to so many innovative approaches. I think one way it has become an advantage for all those who had a innovative mind and thinking to explore. The other thing is those who have not are suffering. So I think I'm sure that BMSCE with all of your participants is going to explore new things and expand in the new directions. With this, I wish all the best to my entire team and hope the participants are going to get an insight into it, and definitely further you're going to explore for beating this COVID-19. With this, thank you very much and all the best. Over to you, Abhishek.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you for wonderful words, sir. And I'm sure you're always the inspiration for us to do such kind of events, especially in this pandemic time. I'm sure all our faculties and all the HODs as well as our students are working towards beating this pandemic such that sometime later. We are also happy to inform all the participants that VTU has sponsored around 6 projects to BMS College of Engineering to beat this pandemic so that we'll come up with some very good ideas and products at the end of the pandemic situation. So having said this, we have with us Dr. S. Muralidhara, who is the Vice Principal of the BMS College of Engineering. Sir, would you like to speak some words, please, sir? I guess there is some mic with the problem with the mic, so I'll check if our Dean Academics is able to speak. Samita ma'am, can you hear us, and are you able to speak? Okay, so however, Samita ma'am was the one. So this, I would like to tell that how this hackathon started. So she can hear us, but unfortunately, she's not able to. Uh, So she's not able to respond because of some technical issues. But this whole thing started even before the lockdown condition when students were not coming, but we faculties were coming. At that time, we approached principal and vice principal saying we want to do something technically because we are engineering college. So principal and vice principal, both of them happily agreed and said that, yeah, please go ahead and do a hackathon. But after that, because we had internals, we had postponed, and today is the day where we have come. Immediately after the lockdown, when we resumed our duties in the college, then Dean Academics and me together, we started this initiative. And today we are seeing the reality. So it's a 3 days hackathon. So let's learn what we are going to do today. In another 15 minutes, I'm going to brief you about the entire hackathon procedure and how you have to participate and what is that communication channel, so on and so forth. With this, these are our collaborators we have. I'm sorry. So these are our collaborators we have. We have IEEE BMSCE student chapter, EMBS student chapter, and also it is an initiative of startup cell of BMSCE, where MHRD Innovation Cell, Institutes Innovation Council, and AACT is also part of this. I mean, we are doing as part of startup cell. We also have other IEEE, so special interest group on humanitarian technology. And recently, we also got funding from IEEE site and humanitarian technology to do something on 3D printing technology and give it to the underserved like urban slums people. So thank you for all the collaborators for joining us for this hackathon. And what is this hackathon about? So this document I've already shared with all the participants, and also I'll share it again over email to all the registered participants. So this is a dynamic document, which means that you can keep on checking this document for the updates. We'll be putting the links as and when it is required so that you need not refer multiple documents throughout the hackathon. So one document, all the links will be there. You have to just scroll through and make sure that you will have all the right resources for this. So over this today and the weekend, we'll be having this hackathon. And if you see, we have divided this hackathon in 10 different themes. So each theme is unique, and each theme, so though the pandemic he started in India maybe a few months ago, but in this 3-4 months, we have understood what is pandemic very well. So we don't need to give you any additional knowledge about it. But in this themes, we will discuss today what are the important issues which few of the experts committee have sat and they have come up with these important issues. These important themes have been picked up from various important portals like AACTE and also from MHRD, as well as from WHO and Government of India, Government of Karnataka, local BBMP, and all this people. And also we have spoken to some experts to derive these 10 themes. So let's deep dive into these 10 themes. So first theme is COVID-19 patient management and triaging. So I am not sure if we have enough infrastructure to come up with a vaccine, but I'm sure we can do even in spite of lockdown, and we have learned over a couple of months. But even now, you have seen people going around we need to educate people more that there is risk involved if you are not taking the protective measures, and monitor quarantine individuals at home. So there is a lot of people flying from different states, coming by bus or train from different states, flying from different country also. So these people, home quarantine, they should be done, or even quarantine in their places in the hotels which they are giving. But we recently saw there was a suicide by one of the quarantined individuals. So these things have to be avoided, even in the home as well as in the hotels when they are quarantined. And we should check if they're complying the quarantine conditions, which is put by our government. Accurately identify the patients is also one more important concept we should think of. And who to test and when to test is again important. So whenever, even BMS college, we are taking a lot of precautions to ensure the safety of our faculties and also students if when they come back. So, but you should know whom to test because the population is so huge in India and also Karnataka and Bengaluru. So, how will you ensure that these people, whom should we actually test it, and when exactly you should test it? This entire people, some or the other time should get tested. So, how will you ensure that? Sharing the effectiveness of treatment, because now there is no one treatment. Doctors and scientists are trying various treatments for this, but is there a platform where we can just post everything, all the treatment strategies what doctors are doing, and they can share, oh, this is a success story for this kind of patient, so maybe you can also try. But of course it have to be vetted by an expert or a group of experts. Treating non-COVID patients is also important. For example, now many of them, there are some surgeries which have been postponed. There are many people, maybe somebody met with an accident now and they have to be sent to the hospital. How would you ensure that the COVID patients are separated from non-COVID patients? And one more important thing is the delivery of babies. There are many babies who are born. Then how will you ensure that they are they are safe and not affected to COVID? Even physiotherapy, especially eye, because it's very suspect to the environment around hospital. How will you protect? So these are few of the things. And there have been many concepts where they say eat banana, it will increase immunity, eat healthy food. Indians have very good immunity. All those things may be true, may not be true. But there are any other strategies where we can improve the immunity. Theme 2 is development of cost-effective testing kits. So there are many testing kits we have. Simple testing, self-testing kit is like Arogya Setu app. I'm sure all of you have downloaded. If not, this is the right time you should download so that you are protected from COVID if somebody else comes near to you. So one important problem which government is facing right now is ensuring the use or compliance of Arogya Setu app. So if somebody, maybe in 100 people, how many of them are using? It's maybe 20, 30 people. How can we ensure that these 70 people can use this Arogya Setu app? And coming back to the kit, we have COVID-19 test kits. Can we come up with very cost-effective one or very faster way of results and less time consuming? Instead of transporting it to a lab, can the test be done in a small room, isolated room, so on and so forth? More importantly, for this mass population or mass testing, can we make sure that it will come as a big, a smaller kit and faster kit, and it can be produced very in large number, very easier and faster way. Next theme is effective mass sanitization. For example, BMS College of Engineering, we are doing sanitation at least twice a week, if I'm not wrong. And we are every employee or every individual who enters BMS College of campus, they have been tested and they've been given sanitizers at the gate itself. So, but as an institute, if you see it's such a big institute and sanitization, it takes 2 days, 3 days to sanitize every nook and corner of the college. So similarly, I just gave an example of college, but there are many big institutes. Hospital, they themselves have to be sanitized because they're more prone to such COVID-19, pandemic. So railway stations, airports, bus stations, malls, and many other big places where public, more number of people will be going and coming out. Awareness about mass sanitization, can we come up with some awareness to people saying, okay, if you're starting a college, students are coming inside, how can you sanitize? That's an example. Monitoring of sanitization, how can you monitor if you're entering a zone, can you monitor that that place is sanitized before you're entering there? And because sanitization is in huge number, so that's why we are calling mass sanitization, the cost comes also into picture. Can we come up with a cheaper solution for this? Next, let's go to the next theme, that is theme 4, that is impact of social distancing, quarantines, and lockdown. You may think this is stale theme, but the impact still we are able to see. We have resumed college few days before, that is faculties, but students are still sitting at home. All of you are sitting at home. You have been in psychological stress. There's loneliness for people who couldn't travel back to their home place, or they're keeping themselves sane is really tough at this pandemic time. So we need to engage people during this time. That is also one concept you can think of. Social life has gone. You're not meeting your friends, you're not meeting your family. How can you bring back the social life? Quarantine life, if somebody is quarantined for 14 days, that's why they're not going to the hospital to get checked up, because they say you have to quarantine for 14 days. So because they're scared of that, they're not going there. Why they're scared? Because that life is not so easy to be alone in the home or in one single room. Access to facilities in spite of isolation. If you want to access some facilities, for example, saloon shop, or day-to-day access like saloon, plumber, electrician, servants. You want to go to bank, you want to go to post office, you want to go somewhere. So how can you get access? Ensure that there is social distancing. You take care of all those safety measures. Hospital phobia, or it's also called as nosocomophobia, which means that you are scared to go to hospital. Many of them are scared because of the situation right now. You don't know which hospital there is a COVID patient. He would have gone saying he has some fever, but ultimately they would have shifted to COVID hospital. So this, how can you ensure that people just get checked? Fifth theme is access to remote education. This is very important. So we have been attending online classes. We have been teaching online examination. Also, we have done it very unique way compared to other colleges, which is a bold step which BMS College of Engineering have taken. So how can you ensure? Because engineering education needs a lot of practical experience, lot of skill development. So how can you ensure that? What tools you can have? And bandwidth may be problem for students. There are many tools available, but still not all tools are same. There are some drawbacks. Can you have some amazing tool for our teaching learning process? Engagement during online teaching. There have been complaints from faculty saying there is Zoom bombing, which is done. That is, they're disturbing the class, some unknown person entering the class, and that engagement, one-to-one engagement with the student, which a regular physical class would give, this may not give. Enabling people who are used to chalk and talk. So we have many faculties in different various colleges, especially if you go to degree college or even if you go to schooling, there are people who are very comfortable with chalk and talk and they're not used to this modern technologies. How can you enable them? Laboratory access. Now BMS College again have taken unique step where we have recorded some of the lab experiments and shared with the students. But that experience is there, but there are virtual labs coming up. But is there anything else we can do for access to laboratories? Because as I said, practical experience is very important. For research scholars and researchers, all their research is on, it's stopped. Somebody want to actually do some experimentation. Somebody wants to meet their guide. For them, can we come up with some kind of tool or some kind of easy access? Internet is problem. Many of us use Geo 2G. 4G for we have just 2 GB of data. Can we use this data to ensure that this entire what we are planning to do for one day, can we have? So how will you ensure? And remote places, many of them signal is problem. So let's go to the next theme, that is healthcare, workforce, well-being management and training. There are many people in this entire, stakeholders in this entire COVID-19 situation. It can be main importantly the doctors or the clinical staff, ensuring their safety, personal protective equipment for them. Though there are many things coming, and you have seen there are masks coming on the faces of doctor because they are inside that mask or PPE equipment for 12 hours continuously, 14 hours continuously. So how can we now COVID situation is really a new situation. The doctors were not trained, even we faculties or students are not trained. But ensuring the general staff, non-COVID or non-emergency kind of clinical staff, can we have some kind of training for them? And how can they ensure that they will do same effective treatment in spite of having high patient flow? Enabling resources. There are many resources available in the hospital or surroundings. How can they enable and use this right for the COVID-19 situation? Traveling from home to work and back. This is also a problem because they don't want to stay in the hospital call room, but they want to go back to home. But while going back to home, if they're staying in apartment, the other neighbors are not really cooperative. Scarcity of clinical staff. This is also one which exists from long time. Most importantly, the mask which normal people we use, the mask in hospital, this is not a problem, but mask which we normal people use, government has imposed very heavy fine if you dispose the mask. but you have to come up with some strategy that's disposing is safety. The people who pick up the waste from our home, they shouldn't be affected because we have put the mask inside. A couple of more themes. So effective existing space conversion and utility. So I mean, the number has been increasing. There is, though it's kind of in 200 250 range in Bangalore from past few days, but the number is increasing. It's not that it is decreasing. The graph is really steep. So how can we, if the number of the space, if there is a constraint, ensuring social distancing among the patients and also COVID and non-COVID patients, how will you ensure that? Retrofit places like hotels for quarantine and treatment. Already government is doing that. Railway coaches they're doing, but can we do it more effective way so that the cost also comes down, the burden to the government also comes down? Effective usage of existing spaces. There is a huge space available, like maybe stadium or anything. How can we use that? Predict, expand, and utilize is something which you can work on. Supply chain management of necessary commodities. Now we have seen the supply chain management is open, but when we actually did this entire theme, but still there is, you want something, you have to go to the shop and say, if you want to go to SP Road, maybe it's sealed down. If you want to go buy something, it's sealed down. So how will you ensure that the people who come there and buy something, or it comes to your home doorstep very easily? Farmer to customer or groceries, vegetables, fruits, cost control. There is a huge spike in the, you remember those days when masks were sold for more than 300 rupees, sanitizers were sold for more than double or three times more. And we also have coordination and management with these people. High consumption goods like sanitizer, medical supply have also to be considered. More importantly, we should also think about safety of police officers, police people, and other warriors who are fighting with this pandemic, ensuring their safety. We see maybe alternate days, some police officer got COVID-19, some doctor got COVID-19. So this is another one. Impact of lockdown on bottom of pyramid. So we saw impact of lockdown for general public, but specific to bottom of pyramid. You have seen in newspaper and news that there are people who are traveling from south to north, 1,500 kilometers, 2,000 kilometers, cycling and so on and so forth. But during their journey, how can we ensure that there are many people who wants to go to some other place from this place, though the government has opened in stages, but still there is a lot of people who should do it. Access to food, access to shelter, and registered or non-registered construction worker. If they have registered, they're getting some monetary benefit. If they're not registered, how can we ensure that? People without identity card, because government is asking, if you have Aadhaar card, I'll give you 5 kg rice. So how will you ensure if somebody doesn't have Aadhaar card? And slums, the case of Dharavi, which is spread all over India. And so how can you maintain the social distancing in slums? And which is really a tough task, but at least try to prevent this pandemic. So the last theme is post-COVID-19 redevelopment. We are not in that stage yet, post-COVID, because COVID has not gone. Rehabilitation is very important at this time. Rehabilitation can be in terms of economic slowdown. So is there any tools, techniques technologies can give so that economy can be revived, or some portion of the, people who have really gone there and their economic is really bad because of COVID, can we help them out? Jobs, many of them are losing jobs. Laziness is coming within people. So can we do something so that they are still, though they are using computers, but if you want to travel back to your college or travel back to your workplace, then there is a laziness component. So back to normality is important. Avoiding future pandemic. Now COVID-19 is gone, some 20 shouldn't come or 21 shouldn't come. So how will you avoid that, and what are the precautions we should take? Mass gathering is gone. Only 50 people for marriages. If somebody is expired, also only 20 people are allowed. If in case, for example, in BMS college, we want to do convocation. So I've seen many universities in abroad, they're doing convocation virtual. They're just displaying the names of students who have graduated and which branch they are in. So which is, the convocation is something really makes our students very high. So mass gathering, 1,000 people convocation together is really tough in this anytime in near future. So all these things are some of the points. So you can work on any theme and any particular topic you want, no restrictions. So let's see the rules of all this thing. Before that, we'll see the schedule. Right now, we are doing this kickoff event where we are telling about what is this hackathon, briefing about it. By some time, once we finish this briefing session for another 5 to 10 minutes, you have to go and think about the problem which you have to do. So how you will pitch that problem is the Slack channel. I'll talk about in my next few slides. Theme, what theme you're doing, what team you're working with, you also finalize within 2 to 3 o'clock. And today night, you should submit the team and what theme you'll be working. So we'll be updating all these things on the same Google Sheet, the same sheet what you're looking at right now. Tomorrow, what you'll be doing, you can start continue hacking, and you can request your mentors to come online. We have requested all the HODs and faculties to cooperate in case they have some questions, in case they want to give some feedback, you have some questions. Many of us are well aware about this situation. They can give their perspective. So have your mentors with you during the hackathon. Just ping them on WhatsApp, email them. They'll be happy to respond. And we'll also have one more small session. It's not an online session, but I'll be sending some documents on Slack, how you can pitch so that you know what is that we are expecting on Sunday. Practice 5-minute pitch with your mentors at 4:30 and 5 o'clock. We want you to submit Google slide. How many slides? We'll come to that next slide. On the last day, that is Sunday, we'll have top teams. So for example, if you have end of the day by 10 o'clock, around 50 teams registration or 20 teams registration, 30, we'll come up with some number around 10. So these teams will be presenting it to the judges on Sunday. So evaluation of the second day, whatever submission you have done at that is 5 o'clock one day, that is Saturday, tomorrow, then we'll see that and we'll give it to the experts to evaluate your pitches. You won't be giving any kind of live session, but they'll be seeing your slide decks and coming up saying these are the top teams who should present finally on the day 3, that is Sunday. So after that, you will be presenting again, same WebEx platform we'll try to use, where you'll be able to present and you'll be seeing next steps. We'll also announce the prizes. What are you supposed to do the next steps? So we have started a Slack channel. What is Slack? It's very easy. It's like BMS, WhatsApp channel itself. And but it is very organized. In WhatsApp, you don't know what you're talking. You may miss very important information, but Slack is organized into multiple channels so that very important announcement is one channel. If you need some help, you can put somewhere. If you want to talk to mentors, you can put somewhere. So this is the only communication channel we'll be using. So ensure that you join Slack. It's very easy. Anyone can join, and also request your mentors, if they're free, they can join the Slack channel. And ensure that you're using only BMSCE email ID. If you use a Gmail or any other email ID, it won't open. So how will you do your team formation and registration? So as soon as we finish this kickoff event, your kickoff seminar, your hackathon starts, you should form your team by end of the day. And while you're forming team, try to have complementary expertise. Don't put all of them, all mechanical students together, all civil, all medical, electronics, all chemical, or all electronic students together. Talk to your friends in other student branch, or put on the Slack channel if they want to participate. Remember, you have some marks for multidisciplinary for the final presentation. If you are one from civil, one from mechanical, one from biotech, one from medical electronics, one from electronics and communication, this is amazing team, I would say, because each of you will have different expertise and you can bring to the table different skill sets. So diversity is very important, and however you are collaborating virtually. One mentor is compulsory, so you can have multiple mentors if you want, but at least have one mentor compulsory. How will you find that? Go ping your faculty, write to your HOD or your faculty or any other department faculty whom they can mentor. So just ask them that to be mentor, share the slide deck with them so that they know what we are talking about. And ideas will be documented in task-specific Google Sheet. So I'll share you one Google Sheet in the same slide so that you can check that little later. I'll also post on the Slack channel. Remember, within 2 days, I'm sure there won't be anything. You will be doing some dent on the earth, but only thing is convince that it is feasible to build as soon as possible. That's what our jury will be told to look at. So if there is a prototype or POC is not really compulsory. If it's a programming, you can come up with some kind of algorithm or some kind of infographics. If it is electronics, you can do some simulation. If you're coming up with some concepts, your diagrams and all those things which you can use online, most of them are free now because of COVID. So use them to the maximum extent and convince us saying you can build this prototype. Do not go out of your home just to name of this hackathon that you want to buy some components or you want to buy something, meet your friends. Please don't do that. Stay home, stay safe, don't go out because of hackathon. Just stay at home and do hacking using your computer, your laptops, your mobile phones. Mentors, they, as I said, just take their opinion or viewpoint, share your slides when you're done, ask them if they can help you in some other way, and so on and so forth. We'll also, once you fill the mentors list, we'll also tell them some instructions separately by tomorrow morning so that they are able to help you out. And coming to some of the submission guidelines. So make sure you submit using Google Slide. I'm also using Google Slide, and that slide should be visible to all of them. What we'll be doing on the last day of the hackathon, that is third day, Sunday, we'll be collating all the slides in one single slide, and I'll be operating from my side for you to present. You will have only, sorry, this slide due is day 2, 5 o'clock, not 6 p.m. I'll change that. But 5 minutes to present your pitch maximum and have only maximum 5 slides. So majorly you should be working on the solution which is implementable virtually. You should be able to prove it. Then once it is successful, we'll see when the lockdown opens, we'll fund you for you to implement those solutions. 3 minutes will be given for Q&A for judges, and you have to present in 5 minutes. So 8 minutes each team will be there. What are the possible contents of the slide deck? If you click on this link, it will open. Judging criteria, this is the last slide. What is the impact which you are doing? Will it impact the total public, or it is impacting only one person is what we'll look at. And you have your solution have real problem which you're trying to solve. You're solving some problem which is not real, which is out of this theme, then you may lose some marks. Innovation is what we are looking. If your innovation is good and it has some solution, you need not build a solution right now, but you will have some solution which you will be able to prove that you are capable of building, and given the resources, you will be able to build very soon. The time is also essence. We want the implementation to happen very soon, and that may go out as a product after this hackathon. Implementation is also what, as I said, proof of concept. It can be prototype or preliminary vision, which can be executed. It need not be something really hard-coded, some amazing technology or something. Use very simple technologies too, because think about your customer or your end user who will be using this. Next is the presentation. We'll be seeing how effective you have done your presentation slides, how diverse is your team members, and if they're really good, we'll, as I said, multidisciplinary, 2 from electronics, 2 from computer science, 2 from civil, something like that. So we'll be giving certificates to all the participants for participating in this hackathon once you fill the team details tonight. And also we have some attractive cash awards. So this cash awards, when we give, it's not that we'll give off right away. We will give you for you to implement the project. So college, thanks to principal, vice principal, and dean academics, they have agreed to sponsor some money for this hackathon for the winners. So if we get more number of projects, then we'll go back to college and say, please give us more money, because we have wonderful students who are ready to present their ideas. So having said this, I would like to thank all of you, and happy hacking, because everything is virtual, as I said, and we are looking for wonderful suggestions from BMS College of Engineering. And tomorrow we want all of you to build a solution which will really reach the needy people and reach the public. So with this, I guess we'll stop the hackathon. I mean the webinar now, and we'll start your hackathon. So before we close, maybe I'll try to check if Samita ma'am can talk. Hello, ma'am. Okay. So before we close, there are few questions which people have asked in the chat box. That is, if they wish more than 5 slides, they may be permitted, not more than 8 slides. Yeah. So Samita Ma'am is telling you can go more than 5 slides, but because you have only 5 minutes, it may so happen that you may not be able to complete, but you can go up to 8 slides, not more than that. And is the team formation important? Can't we do it single? So Urvi Sharma is asking this question. The whole point of this hackathon is you're learning few more skills during the hackathon. It may so happen that you are very interested in, talking to your teammates. You can just go and form your own team, and individual working is not suggested because you are already there individual from so many days. Now it's a time to talk to your friends, mingle among themselves, and talk about the solutions and how you can beat COVID. So tell more about team formation. You will form team, or we don't form the team. You should form yourself. If you have say, talk to your friends. I'm sure all of you are on WhatsApp. Talk to them, call them, and see if you can become team members. So in the Slack channel, if you have seen, you can go and you can write their team formation. There is a special Slack channel inside Slack where you can say what is your idea, and you can call people saying join us for Slack. So what should be the team size? Team size, I'll update that on the slides. Team size, ideally, it should be around 5 or 4 to 5, not more than that, because if again it's more number, then you will end up, many of them end up doing nothing, and most of them will be done by 1 or 2. So we want maximum of 5 team size. And there is one more question. Can we form a team with people in different teams? So your team should be working on one particular problem. Don't try to solve many problems and present it, because we are looking only one solid problem and one solid solution for that. So somebody is asking, sir, if we are doing an application, should we provide all programs, algorithms right away? As I said, if you are doing something, just your concept, there are many good softwares for infographics. You can just maybe take a snapshot of your Android phone and try to tell us how it will work, how your app is working, or how your web app is working, how your algorithm is working is what we want. Because within 2 days, I'm sure you won't be able to build it. But your concept and your solution, possible solution, is what we are looking, rather than exact solution. So please form your team yourself. And if you have any more questions, I guess there are a couple of more questions I'll take and we'll close. Sir, we already formed groups of people of same branch. Won't that work? Yeah, it works if you're from same branch, but if you're having 1 or 2 from other branch, that would be good, because this solving beating pandemic, you really need multidisciplinary expertise. If you are only from mechanical or civil, maybe you may not end up getting a solution what you want. You may need some computer science application or electronics guys. So have it someone solve together. And somebody is asking whole theme or one topic under one theme. Solve one topic under one theme. So these are just a prompts for you. Under that theme, you may see inner some other problem. Please go ahead and solve it. So finally, identify proper problem which we have listed and solve that problem. Can we integrate different theme problems into single application? Yes, please go ahead and integrate different themes problems into single application. We welcome that. Sir, mentor is compulsory to take up hackathon. Fortunately, yes, because trust me, you will come back on the day 3 saying mentor helped me. I mean, I did my, I attended similar hackathon at MIT, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, physically 2 years before, and also virtually for the pandemic. All these things, I need someone, you know, all the slides, whatever concept I've jotted down, everything is from my MIT, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, USA. So that concept is what I've done. I participated in that hackathon and also won that hackathon. Both the hackathons, physical hackathon 2 years back at MIT and this virtual hackathon for pandemic, I have won that. So personally, trust me, you need mentor. So mentor's job is to guide you properly. Like you're doing your final year project without guide, which doesn't make sense. You definitely should need guide because they have more experience than you in terms of technology. In terms of COVID-19, all of us have same experience, but in terms of technology, which you'll try to use, the slides, the way you present, all these things, you definitely need a mentor. Without mentor, it's really tough to do this. So we have made it compulsory. Easy way to find out your mentor is just go ping your faculty, go and message your HOD, mail your HOD saying we need a mentor with this expertise. Or finally, if you're not able to get anyone which you want, you get back to us. We will try to get you a mentor from some department, or we'll also try to get some expert on what you need. So what should you submit by end of the day is somebody who's asking. One thing is, by today end you should, so every day we have deliverables. So first, today's end, we need what problem you are trying to solve, what is your team composition, who is your mentor or mentors. So these are the important things which you need right away. Second thing what you need is that is day 2, that is tomorrow you should be submitting a slide deck of 5 to 8 slides, preferably 5, but you can overflow a little bit, uh, which will be reviewed by some of the jury members who will come up with top 10 or 15 teams depending on number of teams. And then third day you will be coming up with you will be just doing presentation. So ideally you're working till tomorrow evening, and after tomorrow evening you'll be practicing your pitch in case you come in top 10 teams. That top 10 teams will be evaluated by expert committee members. Great, then I guess there are no more questions. If you have any questions, please, when we can choose as mentor, whom you can choose. So talk to any faculty you need, or any expert if you have a doctor whom you know, but preferably have one in-house faculty, that is your BMSCE faculty in your department or any other department whom you have worked as faculty mentor. So yeah, thanks a lot. We are exactly on time. And before that, just a minute before we close. Yeah, dear participants, we have Dr. Samita Maitra, who is Dean Academics. So she's called me through phone. So she'll be addressing us for a few times. Yeah, over to you, Samita, ma'am.
Hello, participants.
Yes, ma'am, we can hear you.
Yeah. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, this is Samita Madam. I'm Dean Academics, and this is always been a thought process in our mind that how to make sure that we make this, difficulty into an opportunity, like, having some opportunity through this adversity. So welcome to all of you, and please ensure that you are constantly in touch with me or Abhishek or your department, head of the department, or the method that you have picked up. In the conversation, I realized that some of you might be having difficulty of contacting a mentor. If that is the case, don't hesitate, but get back to us. We will try to help you in whatever possible ability that we have, or we will channelize your request. And once again, the 10 tracks that Abhishek sir has informed to you, those are carefully planned and is suitable for the present scenario. And I will expect that even the students of MBA department is also there in this, Abhishek, isn't it?
Yeah, ma'am.
Yeah, so it is across the discipline, it cuts across all the discipline, all kind of, thought process previously we have. So let us not leave into a process that I will only make a team with electronics, I'll only make a team with biotechnology, such things should not be there. Kindly ensure that your team is having members across the discipline so that you can do well. And we will be continuously in touch. But look at the way I was having difficulty reaching you through the WebEx audio. So I have called Abhishek and I've got talking to you. So once again, thank you for participating. Thank you, Abhishek. You have been fantastic. You're the real dynamic mentor here. So I hope that the program as a whole thing will be a grand success. So once again, let's think that it is a World Day celebration of World Environment Day. And next World Environment Day, we must be thinking that we have done things which were expected to do. So once again, all the best to all of you. Bye.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am, for encouraging words. So with this, thank you all for joining us. If you have any doubts, please. Yes, ma'am.
Actually, I was kind of thinking, and I must acknowledge the support that I got from our beloved principal, Dr. BVR, and our vice principal, Muridhar sir, because they have been continuously checking that we are taking this idea towards the completion. Every problem has two parts, that is, one is planning and one is execution. So I really acknowledge the support that I received from principal and vice principal for the planning and Dr. Abhishek for the execution. So let's think that we are doing it properly, even though it has been done virtually, but it is not actually that way virtual. We'll come up with some tangible solution, because we are coming with some financial support or financial cash prize for the winner. So therefore, it will not be simply in the planning or simply in the virtual stage. We will also see the implementation of the planning of the award-winning idea in this hackathon. So thank you. With this, I hand over to Dr. Abhishek to complete the process.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. And as I said, you truly said that our management principal and vice principal, all of them are really magnanimous that they're come forward to help us in this pandemic situation. The ideas what we had in our mind is now into reality. And thank you, ma'am, for your wonderful words and making this hackathon possible. So with this, if you participants and all the attendees are students, if you have any questions, then there is a Slack channel. Please join the Slack channel. We'll be able to answer all the questions, and also request your faculty mentors to join the Slack channel. Thank you. And with this, we'll close this session, and we'll meet you again on the Slack channel. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye. All the best to all of you.
Yeah, all the best.